All right, Carson Benge has been a big focus of camp this far. 3-hit day. You just said hates striking out. Mendy says he always finds a way. Will, how realistic is it that he wins the right field job when we see him there in the beginning of the season?
Well, there's going to be a lot of juice to this conversation for the next month about Carson Benge and whether he can make this club or not. They're giving him an opportunity to win this job, right? He's there, he's in camp, he's getting the major league reps. He's a pivotal part of all this for the New York Mets. My hunch, not reporting it, but just my hunch, knowing how David Stearns operates, he's not going to rush this guy, right? He's going to make sure that Carson Benge is ready, and he's going to be somebody that they don't have to take out of the lineup, that he can play every single day, he can be dependable in right field. And I don't know if that's necessarily going to be in late March on opening day. I do know, and I can say confidently, knowing Carson Benge, he's going to make an impact this season, whether it's in late March or if it's toward the middle of the season. He's going to be there for this club. I just don't know yet if it's going to be opening day or not.
All right, Emmanuel, with that, how important is it that he proves himself this spring? And if he does get that job, how does that change your outlook on the Mets outfield this season?
I don't think it changes the outlook much, and that's why I think the Mets have every objective here to give him an opportunity to run and hide with this position. You look at all the veterans up and down the lineup. Carson Benge, who they're very high on, they believe this guy's the real deal. He just have to go in and light the world on fire. He'll be batting 8th or 9th in an opening day lineup, and until he proves that he's anything more than just a supplementary piece of this team, I think that's where he's going to be, 8th or 9th in this lineup. So it's not that important for him to make this team. I think it's important he steps in, continues to prove himself, continues to fit in, continues to lean on the veterans. But for the outlook of this team, I look at the Mets, and they're not overly reliant on Carson Benge stepping in and becoming a superstar. That's a good thing. They have a lot of veterans up and down the lineup who complement each other. Benge would be icing on that cake out of the 8 or 9 spot. So for him, go out and prove yourself. It's not important he wins the job.
Much more important, I would say, for him to be in the lineup game 1 of the postseason in October. And I think that that's what everybody in the Mets organization, the fan base, would certainly want to have happen as well. But when I look at big picture here for the Mets, it's going to be a long game with Carson Benge, I think, this year with the outfield. Now, in a perfect world, he lives up to all the billing and he becomes this much ballyhooed prospect and a real good major leaguer. Then the Mets have 2/3 of their outfield set for forever, with Juan Soto being the other. The only thing that concerns me outfield-wise, though, again, is Luis Robert. And we've talked about this all offseason, just because of his injury history and the fact that he's almost bound to miss time every single season. So if he's going to be out of the lineup, somebody else then has to step up in terms of filling out that outfield. If it's Benge, and if that happens, if he gets going here, let's say 2-3 months into the season and then goes on a tear, even better for the Mets.
It could be Benge in that instance that you played out, which I hope for the Mets' sake it doesn't come to that, where they're missing Robert for games and they don't have an answer in right field. That's kind of like a doomsday scenario that you're spelling out for them. Hopefully for their sake it doesn't come to that. But what I like about what they've done is they've kind of built themselves for that just in case, with a Mike Tauchman, with Tyrone Taylor still on this roster. So they have options. There's Brett Beatty as well, who is going to be or expected to learn to play right field some. So they have some other options to kind of keep the seat warm for Benge. And what I like is they didn't kind of steal it from him, right? They didn't sign someone, they didn't trade someone to be their everyday right fielder instead of Carson Benge. These are guys who are pretty solid players. I think in Mike Tauchman's case, I was surprised he's on a minor league deal here. He's a very good player. But they're guys who kind of keep the seat warm for him, who you're not really expecting to be everyday guys, but can still contribute at a pretty solid level.
But remember, they did try to make a serious run at Kyle Tucker, and they were going to stick
exception,
him, right? And, they were going to stick him in the outfield. The last thing I'll say about Benge is, if he becomes the real deal, I think it's going to be a good thing for Met fans too, because then you have a homegrown player. Remember, the Mets just said goodbye to 2 homegrown popular Mets this offseason. If Benge can step right in and fill one of those slots, I think they'll be thrilled.
Thanks so much. Here with our SNY MLB insider Chelsea James after the Mets fall to the Cardinals here in Port St. Lucie. Jonah Tong made his spring debut on Wednesday. I know he's working on his cutter. What did you see?
Yeah, he had to throw it a lot because his changeup was not working. And for a fastball changeup pitcher, that is kind of a problem. He's wanted to work on the cutter, so it provided a great opportunity to do that. And while he gave up a home run, he did say he was in the dugout hoping no one could read his lips because he was excitedly saying, "I'm a ground ball pitcher, I'm a ground ball pitcher." And that is what the cutter's going to do for Jonah Tong. It doesn't need to miss bats. Maybe it will, but it needs to look like a fastball so that a hitter thinks he has it barreled, it moves off the barrel, and suddenly you have weak contact. not having to miss bats, being able to try for a double play ball when you need it is something that young pitchers are always trying to do. And now Jonah Tong, I think, has reason to believe this cutter can help him do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Showed that on Wednesday. So Carson Benge got his first 3 hits of the season. I know Mendoza was very pleased with the fact that he fell behind in counts and was still able to get those hits. What has your overall impression been of Benge?
I think I didn't quite know what to think early on. We just hadn't seen a lot of him. But today I kind of understand why he came in with the opportunity to make this team. He has really good bat-to-ball skills. He had 3 hits today. One was an infield hit. You saw the speed. He beat it out. Another was an opposite field single. And another was pulled through the right side after a 10-pitch at bat. So it's just very clear that Carson Benge can maybe, if not control the strike zone in the way that you see guys when they walk, control it in the way that he doesn't want to strike out, and he has the bat skills to not do it.
Yeah, Craig Kimbrell threw a live BP on Wednesday. What did you learn from your conversation with him?
Yeah, Craig Kimbrell is not a lock to make this bullpen, but he has come in with the mindset of a veteran who believes he is. He's not going to come out firing right away. The fastball isn't what it once was, and he's not trying to make it look like it is. It looks like he's experimenting with a changeup, which he never used to throw a lot, maybe a cutter I think I saw today. It's just very clear that he knows that he has to be a different pitcher, but that doesn't mean he's going to be a worse pitcher. And he said today the key for him at this point in career is reading swings. It's not trying to blow the ball by people. It's looking at what they're doing and trying to throw the right pitch. And he thinks he's expanded his arsenal enough that he's going to be able to do it.
Nolan McLean's going to make his spring debut on Thursday down in West Palm. How excited are you personally to watch him?
I'm genuinely excited. I have not been around him over the last few years as much as everyone else. And, just getting to kind of see what the hype is about and just see his presence this spring, you really get it. I mean, he looks like an older pitcher. He's so mature, so confident in his own routines. 6 pitches. I mean, everything moves. It's crazy. So I get it, and I'm excited to see it against live hitters before, going into a season where he's going to be absolutely crucial for this rotation.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be relied upon. So Nolan McLean, again, makes his spring debut on Thursday down in West Palm against the Astros. For Chelsea Janes, I'm Michelle Margaux. Back to you, New York.